Okay, so this is what I have as per your request. I'm gonna take a look at the options that we have for this week and see how they look like. So we're gonna start with M. So what I see here for M, and I'm gonna start looking, obviously analytically, the way that I do most of my stuff. If you take a look at it here, the trend, and 1 hour is green, the 2 hour is green, and we're gonna switch this over to 30 minutes. And as you can see, 30 minutes here, it's also green. So it gives us all those different parameters in here to work with. Um, the other thing that I've noticed here is that if you look at the volume for the last 30 days, it's about 17 million shares. It's the average for the last 30 days. Last Friday, we traded about 57 million shares. So the volume is definitely increasing, and price is going up. So the only way to interpret that is that um, people willing to pay a little more for Macy's, I guess, at this level. Um, the one thing I want to point out is that obviously just had earnings, so we have to be careful with that because it can easily sell out as people take profits from their earnings. And if you see so many shares being traded, there's going to be a lot of decisions being made. Um, the play that we're calling for this is the 21 call. So right now we'll be in the money position, um, and I would be a buyer um, somewhere around $21. The $21 right here. That would probably be my entry, which is a 38.2 retracement, um, and I would target um, 2350 and 2450. So those are my two initial targets for Macy's, and I don't think we need any more than that if we want to capture 30% return on that. Um, so let's take a look at the next one, XLC, which is ETF. Um, we're calling for a 80 call here, obviously in the money call. Um, I like this one to the upside as well, even though it's just bouncing from the bottom. Um, this candle here was the Thursday candle, and the one that it printed here from here and on, this is all about Friday. So it really bounced from the 50% of the day before, so that would have been a phenomenal entry. Uh, We've coincided with the weekly support. So um, here I would also like to see a retracement. If we get it, I don't know if we will, but if we do, it will be a very shallow retracement because my entry will have been here, and it already hit target 1. Target 2 will have been somewhere around here, 83.38. So we still have a little bit. It doesn't mean that it's done, but we can definitely target the $84 range, which was the weekly resistance for last week. Very good possibility to move, $2 or $3 on this one and capture a return. So the bullish play looks good. Mara. Um, so a big correlation with Bitcoin and all the crypto stuff, which I'm not really too much into it, but um, the one thing I want to point out, obviously, is the labels here, 31 hour and 2 hours. If you take a look at the volume, the last 30 candles, 30 days of trading is 8.1 million shares. On Friday, we traded almost double, $15.5 million. So I immediately go to see, the move from Friday, and if you take a look at it, obviously, the move was very violent because it started right over here on pre-market. 4 o'clock actually starts trading with some brokers, and you can see that as soon as we broke out of that consolidation area in pre-market, it just took off, made a little retracement, and it just kept going. I do have a target here of 38, and potentially hitting the $40. That would be my ideal scenario there. Okay, let's take a look at spot. Traded that before. I haven't had too much luck with this, but once again, I can't emphasize enough the importance of the weekly support levels. I mean, if I was watching this, this is the Wednesday candle here. It just doesn't get any better than that. It's just took off as soon as it hit the sentimental value of 200. It's just was a great entry in there, but we got to reset, and obviously here daily support. This is the candle that formed on Friday, so we saw an impulse to the upside, and what I'll be watching for would be a retracement to the 38.2%, which is somewhere about the $214 $215, and I think this has enough energy to get to 223 and 228. Trend labels are up here, so you can see it for yourself. You can also see that the volume has increased. Over the last 30 days, it was trading about 1.7 million shares a day, and now it's trading 2.3 as of Friday. So the volume has increased by approximately 33% over the 30-day average, and it's just because it hit this level here, and it just continued to carry on. So a lot of energy in spot right now. Nvidia, obviously I trade this very consistently, just like a lot of people do. One thing that I want to point out here is that I had done previous analysis on this, so I'm already looking for 213, 213 and a half, all the way up to 220. I mean, it's not out of the question. Yeah, it is a very long target, but immediately I think we can get $5 move here and see what will happen. Also, the volume is increasing. If you take a look at for 30 million shares that were traded in the last 30 days average, Friday alone we traded 223% over that. So it means that it's finding buyers in this consolidation area. It's pushed the price a little higher. It just had earnings, so it's also something very important to point out. But obviously, just ended right here at the weekly resistance. So if you were trading weekly support to weekly resistance, you'll probably be $13 move. That would have been substantial in there. As Nvidia, so far I'm in agreement with everything that I see on the this what we chose for for the options. Another example here, hit weekly resistance once again, and here hit weekly support. This is WMT. Obviously, if you take a look in here, let's look at the trend labels. Obviously, they're green. I'm going to continue to make reference to this because that's how I trade. The volume 7.3. It's a little on the low side, 6.5. So not quite there in terms of the volume. Obviously, just had earnings a few days ago. So we have to be very mindful that, that there's a possibility that we can get a little dip over here. And I would love to see that happening to the $150 level. And I think a long position can be taken, targeting 153.67, including 154.50. I mean, that area up here. Just be cautious because obviously it's coming out on earnings, and out of the earnings it just went down. So it might attract some buyers down here. I think it is a possibility. So we have selected a call for this one, so we'll see how it goes. Cisco. So this one is pretty high. It's just continued to go up and up and up and up, even though NASDAQ was going down and retracing, but it just had great earnings. So we got to keep that in consideration. Going back to the trend meter here, all green all the way up to the 2 hours. I don't measure anything past 2 hours. unless I'm looking for something deeper, or some information that is not quite visible to me. But when you look at the 30-day average, 14.7 million share are traded, and on Friday we traded almost 22 million shares, 50% more volume. So if it's finding people, buyers down here, obviously at some point they'll take some profits. But I would love to see that one coming down here to the 56, 65 level. For a long position that can trade $60 easily, $61 right up here. It's not a lot, but 61 will get you 25-30% easily with an options contract. And XPI is the next one. We got an XPI here, and I do like this one to the upside, and we have selected a call for this one, so very cool. So this one is bouncing from the bottom, as you can see. This candle came here, then the next candle was right here, and then this candle started back up here. Small candle, but nonetheless rejecting the bottom. You can see here the RSI hit oversold in this area, and it just started to turn. It broke the weekly support, so it has to come back up and retest the weekly support. And I think once it does that, it may come back down to this area here, 22 or 202. I should say. I would love to see it coming down to like 201, even 200 would be even better. And wait for a position here, and we can easily target the 212 and the 216. So this is I don't know how fast this one moves, but I think this one has a lot of potential. Let's take a look at the next one. And the next one is, let's see what we got here. Coin again. A lot of correlation with Bitcoin and all the crypto stuff. So obviously it's bouncing from the bottom. I traded this over the last 2 consecutive Fridays. Actually, I got traded this, and I both days, 2 consecutive weeks, I've been able to profit on this because it moves really fast. So one thing I notice is that we're in the upswing, and I can just tell by the way the candles look like. You can see that this one was coming down, bounce. So that's what I look forward to. And what I think is going to happen is weekly support was here, that got broken. It just cut right through it. I think we're looking for a retracement here to test the 50%, which is probably somewhere around the $250. And if it does that, I will be targeting the single prints from 812 that are over here at 268 at 271. That is a big target for me. I think it is a good possibility that we get up there. Trend labels are validating that the trend is moving up. The volume not quite there yet, but it's 92% of the 44.4 million shares that we trade every day. I like to see volume picking up a little bit at this level, just to see if that's something that is going to move the price all the way up. For coin, we have a call as well. I should say for Cisco, I know that we have selected a put. There is a possibility for a small retracement. That is a $2 retracement, good enough for to pick up maybe 20-30%. I'm not sure how it's gonna look like at the market open on Monday, but I think the retracement is realistic, but I do think that in the midterm it has a possibility to continue to move up. Just forgot to say that because I see that we have a put selected, and it can play it out, but you have to keep your bias neutral to a position like this. SLV, I have it going down. It may be a little bounce to the 38%, which is $21.40. I think I have a mark right here. I would love for it to come back up to 2150, and I think ultimately it would trade 2115 and maybe a little more. Let me see if I have another target here. Yeah, I think it would trade $21 if I continue declining. So you can see the decline from here to here to here to here, and when you look at the volume, it's just 80% of the 30-day average. So that tells you that buyers are not interested into jumping in at this level. So they're probably waiting on the $21. And unless I see the trend labels starting turning green, I think it's a little bit more downside in here, which also coincides with the selection of a put for this particular symbol. We have BX Blackstone. This was declining. You can see it here, and it's just started to bounce now. I do like this one a lot for a couple of reasons. All the trend labels are green. The volume, it's not quite there yet. I think there's a retest that needs to happen, and I have it coming down here to the 112. I would like the 111 area here, which was a support for last week. And I think if it comes back down, and it's going to hold, and it can trade 114, 115 easily, or it could also trade 117. We don't know, but there's a possibility to catch this one on the bounce to the upside, which I think we may get. BX. Next one is GLW. GLW. I have this one. I'm in agreement with a put. I think price will probably bounce all the way up here to $40.50, and it's likely to continue to move down to the $39.50, even the $39 even. It's a possibility. What really makes it a little difficult to make this one a projection to continue to go down is that obviously the zones are turning green. We got the 2 hours still is red, but when you look at the volume here, it's picking up. So I think buyers are seeing a lot of value on this particular price point here, and we have to be careful with that because it can move up here, but it can also continue to move up because this move right here can easily be just a retracement of the move that I'm spotting from here to here. That's a 70% right here. This is a very good area to go long. So I would monitor price somewhere around here at the $40.50 area just to see how it behaves. But really hard to read, and we have selected a put for that, so we'll see how it plays out with the daily ORB. Moderna seems to be coming down. 3 consecutive sessions coming back down. It looked like it tried to bounce here on Friday, but it just stayed right there. I think this one has 2 targets to fulfill. I think there's a possibility that we may see 363, and I believe I have another target down here that it can easily trade 340. But this is a lot of surrounded with news and everything, so I don't know how's that going to play out with all the news, but I can tell you that the volume is decreasing dramatically, 50% over the 30-day average is 13.2 million, and actually, my apologies, the 30-day average is 25 million shares, and we only traded 13.2 million shares on Friday, so there's a potential downside. And I also have to point out how the labels here, the trend meter is switching, red, 30 minutes, it looks like it's the last line of defense before it continues to come down. So we have a put here, and that one looks really good to me as well. Pfizer, Also another one, news related, but this one has a different setup for me. You know, we have a low here, we have a low here, higher low, came back down here, and then on Friday traded back up in a tight little range. You can see the volume it hasn't really decreased over the 30-day average. So a lot different from Moderna, but you can see here that you know, the 2 hours is in zone forward red. And what I mean by that is if you switch over to a 4 hour to a 2 hour chart. So I'm gonna give you an example on this just for the just for illustration purposes. So if you switch this to a 4 hour and change it over to 2 hours, I know a lot of people don't look at 2 hours. You're gonna see where we at in a 2 hour chart. Now, if I want to see where the 2 hours label is, I'm gonna add an indicator here. I try to keep this set up as clean as possible, but for the purpose of this, I'm gonna bring it back and take a look at it and see what's going on. So in this particular example, a break above this level here, 50.86, would turn the 2 hours into a green label. If that happens, I will be on the lookout for a retracement to take a long position. So the daily ORB is the one that's going to dictate which way we're going to go on this, because the daily ORB is really the one that dictates the entry points for me. So it is really important for me to stay disciplined and just follow the course in here. But I would love for this one to come back down to the top of the range, or even the daily resistance in here, which is about the top is about $50. I would love for that to happen, because I have a target right up here that we can easily trade $53 or $52.29. You know, it's just a couple of bucks, but hey, guess what? You know, that will help. We get a 30-40% gains on that, and that would be a quick day trade to follow. So we also have a put for that, so I don't see it. You know, if I see the decline, it's gonna be less than $1, and I think from that point we're gonna continue to move up. So we just broke this area here. You know, we broke through it, and that was a big pivot to break, and we managed to close above. So that's the only reason why I'm choosing this one to be probably on the call side, not so much on the put side. But we'll let the ORV dictate what's going to happen. All right, and that's the end of my recording.